like that little beat. It's fun.
It's awesome.
Everyone, thank you very much for joining us for today's Chasual. Y'all know that. Today I have Michelle Marie and Tanys. Tanys, how do you pronounce your last name?
Coughlan.
Coughlan?
Coughlan.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Twillow Lifestyle. Oh, here, wait a minute. Oh, here, let me use my tiny hands. Twillow Lifestyle Academy and astrologicaltarot.com. And I really need to make a new one so that we can see that on that red on that red. First world problems, people.
It's on her thing. Yeah.
It is. And just in case everybody has forgotten how this works, it's listed below.
Right.
So everybody do me the favor, show your love and like and subscribe to my guest channels. I just have to say, I'm going to say this again. I'm thrilled with this. Okay. And I mean, it just makes me happy. So anyhow, what are you two drinking? Tanys, we're going to start with you.
Water.
No. Hydration is good.
Hydration is good.
Yes.
It's energized water. Does that count?
Explain that.
Oh, it's good. Oh, can you do ours?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can show. It's better to show than to
So which kind would you like? Would you like Reiki water? Would you like Aqualead water? Or would you like drinkable holy water?
Whatever one you think intuitively we need.
I think we're going to do Aqualead water because it's healing. Okay. All right, here we go. Michelle, I'm doing yours first. Okay. And Gerald? Okay. Take a sip. See what you think.
Refreshing. Thank you, Tanys.
That was the word I was going to use. It's very refreshing. As soon as it hits my throat, I can tell.
Yeah. It's a different energy. So Aqualead is an energy that heals water, whether it's environmentally or in the body. And of course, we're 80% water. So it helps to heal all that water in the body. So that's one of the modalities that I do, and I teach it as well. So.
There you go.
Thank you very much. Hold that thought because I want to find out some more about your spiritual journey and your modalities. But we've got a lot of lovely people here. Jane the Seeker is here. Beth, Aspasia Rising. Lisa. And Red Wing is here. Good to see you. Hi. Jane the Seeker was I Feel It. And thank you. It's a new one. I am enjoying. It's just bringing me joy to do silly stuff. So
it's awesome.
Pia's Life is here. Hello. And I see Pamela Batchelor. Hello to everyone in chat. Good day. So many people are here. Thank you. Arlene. Deanne, Blue Crescent Tarot, who is the originator of the Sip Sip.
Oh.
As I know her. So
I thought that was Jackie.
Sip Sip. So, YouTube is, you need hydration. So
you do.
And just looking at, Magic Sip Sip. There you go. I mean, it's incredible.
Yes.
Do you ever energetically infuse coffee, or is coffee already naturally blessed?
Well, it's blessed for me in the morning, but you could. I think it might counteract some of the stuff that's in coffee that we probably shouldn't be drinking, but we do anyway.
Remind me something that I did about that. The messages in water. I'm going to write that down. Try to, because okay, I'm a professional, people. I take
absolutely good for you. I should take notes because
But while I'm doing that, everybody can like and subscribe to all of my guest channels. Plucky Heroine is here. Hello. Speaking of, okay, and look at that. Medium Betsy Palmer is here. And by the way, just so that all of you are aware, Medium Betsy Palmer is on tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's for Back and Forth with Jamie and Gerald. You know there's going to be laughs. I'm keeping a snort count. And it's always good when
that's noteworthy.
Yes. Ren is here. Hi, Ren.
Excuse me.
Bless you. That doesn't count as a snort. Sorry.
Candy Soul and Soil is here. Hello. Do you all know Candy?
No.
Not yet. No.
Not yet.
Hi.
Go over to her channel. Very inspiring, like a lot of people who have YouTube channels. Candy has encouraged me here. Candy has encouraged me to get out and get my hands in the dirt. And I mean, I was actually using gardening gloves, but I remember it's like there's healing properties in getting your hands in dirt. And then there's also also the earthing instead of just grounding.
Yep.
So it's like, holy mackerel, people. Oh, look at that. Okay. And look, Jane the Seeker is here. So Tuesdays with Tarot Stash exclusively on Jane the Seeker is tomorrow.
Woo-hoo.
And we are doing readings with, I don't know if you either of you have this, the Sasarabito Tarot.
No. Kind of reminds me of Silence of the Lambs with the moth.
It does. However, it is. I'm also going to be using this one, but show up. It's easy to say. Okay, let me get down to all of the lovely people. Oh my gosh, look at you. Okay. Yeah, and she's recognizing. Yes, she is the sip sip. That's where I first heard it.
Yeah.
So okay, and Beth Aspazia Rising said, right, that's what I was thinking. Thank you, Tanys. So Twisted Sushi, hello.
Awesome.
I think you added to your name. And Tortoiseshell Moon, Kathy is here. Just subscribed. Thank you. And
beautiful. Thank you.
And for people. So and look at that. Okay, so many lovely people. This is great. Well, it's nice to know when we influence people, isn't it? It's
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's why we do what we do, right? Is to make a difference for others. So it's awesome.
It is
when we know that that's what we've done. Yeah.
It is.
It's rewarding.
So Scott is here. Hello, Scott. Good to see you.
Hey, Scott.
Robin, Toadstool Tarot is here. Yes, that's the one that I was talking about. I'm going to star that one. And it's lovely to see everybody. Okay, so I'm here you go. Beth is pulling 25 watching and 9 thumbs up. What?
Wow.
Woohoo!
There you go. So, okay, I'm trying to get down to this. Maruda, hello. Maruda, this is Michelle Marie and Tanys. Go over and like and subscribe to their channels. They are, I'll just say it, they're awesome. I mean, they're kind, they're blessed. They're not easily taken advantage of because they pay attention to the messages that come through. And sometimes they'll tell you things that you don't want to hear in a way that you can hear it.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, we try.
But it's true. So, and okay. Michelle, okay. Okay. She wants me to
Nice.
show you the Eight of Cups in the deck. So I will do this quickly. It is an amazing Eight of Cups. It's one. Okay, so sorry. Talk amongst yourself. So,
Well, the Eight of Cups, you know what it is, Tanys? What the Eight of Cups means? It's all about walking away. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Remember, I think you pulled that for me, given my situation. Well, I know Jen did. She pulled it, and I'm like,
Jen
I'm
did,
supposed to
yeah.
walk away from this. And she was like, yes, you are.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
Well, okay, so that's a good question. Tanys, what kind of cards do you read? What are the cards of your tool?
I usually use oracle cards. I mean, I'm kind of like you, Gerald. I have quite a few. I probably have 50 decks.
Okay.
Haven't counted, but probably inwards are there. I know you've got hundreds, but
Yes.
That is so cute.
but yeah, I use more the oracle decks because they call me to use certain things for certain ones, and I didn't connect with tarot in the same way. I'm just starting to kind of get some of those different tarot decks. Like I do have, what have I got here? I have Angel Wisdom. I have Archangel tarot deck. You know, I've got a few.
Okay.
I of course have your standard, right? Good old standard deck.
Is that which one is that?
This one is the Aquarian.
Aquarian. I was just going to say
Yeah.
it was like the Aquarian. Look, I have it.
I don't have that, and I'm an Aquarian. What the heck?
You don't have that?
No.
It's got nice pictures. I liked it better. I have a Rider Waite deck as well. But I like the pictures on these better.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
They're very similar.
Yeah, these are the same. These are the same.
This
decks.
is-
It's just a different age.
Small
Mhm.
version.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyhow, okay. Okay. And before we hear from you, Michelle, this is the Eight of Cups in this deck.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness.
Because it is tradition in some cultures that when there is a significant life change, you cut your hair to allow for a fresh start.
I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, we learned. I did it in my 20s. Now I'm just like, I got to go to work, and I got to.
Well, I actually had this in mind because after I got married, I got my hair cut.
Oh, nice.
So it was very timely for that. So,
which you must have got it cut recently.
Thank you. I did get it cut Wednesday.
Yeah, it looks great.
Thank you. Okay, so everybody's here. Love it, love it, love it. And okay, went out and subscribed to you, Michelle and Tanys.
Thank you.
I know, I am so thrilled. It's like, holy crap. So, and Chris from Elemental Cartomancy is here. Chris, this is Michelle Marie and Tanys.
Hey.
So, hello. Okay. Yeah, it's a powerful card. And Candy just subbed too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lisa, Kindness and Light is here. Okay, I love this. So many people are showing. Oh, look. Okay, so we've got subbed. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. So so I'm going to put the two of you on the spot because it's my channel and they said yes. When people go and like and subscribe to their channel, your channels, what are they going to experience? So I'm going to start with Michelle Marie this time.
Yep.
Okay. Well, every single Wednesday, Tanys and I put on a show where we have a special guest on. And we basically do live readings right there. She uses all of her fabulous oracle cards and she gives crystal advice. And we introduce kind of our practices and our modalities. Is that your Celestite?
Yeah.
And so we just bring all of our fabulous tools out. Sometimes I'll do some sound healing or I'll, whip out my oracle decks, or I have a lot of tarot decks like you, Gerald. And we just give people some sound advice for their situation, of course, for entertainment purposes only. But we like to point them in the right direction so that they can make the best decision for their lives moving forward.
Right.
And then I also post shorts on all of the different Vedic astrological transits that are going on. And then I also do unboxings for various tarot readers, authors, creators, things like that, and have them on the show as well. It's a lot of fun.
It is.
So
That is great.
I look forward to Wednesdays.
Yes, and you should just go over and like and subscribe, because there may be a Wednesday where I might show up.
I hope so.
Yeah, yes. You're
Well,
always, well, you are.
I'm showing up. I'm
Yeah,
showing
you
up.
Oh, perfect.
Lisa's like, I'm in. And Twisted Sushi, I love your necklace.
Thank you. That's my logo too. So I have the willow tree as my logo. So I wear this as my
Did you make
branding.
that necklace?
I didn't, but it does have an interesting story.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this necklace just showed up in my mailbox one day, and nobody signed the card. It was just, "This is for all you do. Thank you so much."
Wow.
Aw.
And I was like, that is so sweet. So that's why I wear this. You'll notice that I wear this probably
do it every
80%
show.
of the time. Yeah.
Mhm.
With different things, because it means a lot to me. And it's it's crystals, it's trees, so it's very much a big part of my like personal branding. So,
Well, I noticed you have one that's amethyst and one that's like multi-gemstone. That's the multi-gemstone one. Yeah.
yeah, the multi-gemstone is kind of the basic. I have different ones. I actually sell them in the store. So we have, all different ones. This one's
Some
citrine.
citrine.
Look at that.
I have another one here actually. Turquoise.
Oh.
Ooh.
So they're all kind of like that. And so you'll usually catch me wearing one of those, or I have a bracelet or two that have it on. So I will sometimes wear that. But when I'm online, I try to wear the necklaces.
Mm.
So,
Deanne said Gerald's going to have to show up on the 25th, but I definitely signed it. Oh, I'm going to have something to show up on the 25th. Oh, gosh. Okay. And okay, one of the things that you'll both will notice is I'm not here to brag, but I think I have the best chatters.
You do. Your chatters
do.
are amazing. I'm one of your chatters, so I can say that they're amazing.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and here you go. One of the reasons I like Michelle and Tanys is they don't shy away from truth and read it how they feel it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
Love that. That is so true. And I did see Jackie Jacaranda show up. Hello. Good to see you, Jackie.
Hey.
And then we have Michelle's channel, which I'm pretty sure we're going to have somebody else post. And then we have Tanys's channel. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Tanys, okay. So who's next with the cards? Did you both go?
So did you want me to say what I do on YouTube? Is that what we're at?
Oh yes. What do you do on YouTube?
So I do.
People are going to like your channel and subscribe, so they get notified when you go live, because it's free. People, what do they get when they subscribe and like to your channel?
So every week I do a crystal of the week. So I intuitively pick a crystal, whatever is coming up for the energy. I do an energy update for the week. So we ask Spirit to give us some cards to sort of describe the overall themes of the week. So I do that every week. And then I have a podcast with Michelle, of course. We do that on Wednesdays. And I also have a podcast called Twillow Talk that I do with a friend of mine, Jennifer Jakovsky. And we've got Gerald on the show today. So you're going to have to come and tune in later. Yeah, at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Is that what that is? Yep.
Yeah.
And so we do that. And basically that we often will pick a topic. So usually we have a deck of cards that we pick a topic, and then we just have authentic conversation. And we have lots of other, thank you. We have lots of other conversation, much like we're doing today on here. So we will chat with you and we ask for your feedback on the topic. What do you think of this? And all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I also do a podcast every second Friday at 7 called Open Mic with another friend of ours, Ramsey. And that's a lot of fun. He picks the topic, so I never know what I'm in for. It's it's great. I get along great, so it's all good. And then I have once a month that I do one. I'm not sure actually if this gets onto my YouTube. I share it on Facebook, I know, but I'm not sure if it gets onto the YouTube. I do a podcast with a group from the UK. Most of them are in Scotland. There's a couple in the States, but most of them are Scotland and the UK. So I do that once a month, and they're all therapists of some kind. So a lot of them are coaches. There's another shaman and all of that stuff. And I do another one periodically, Bridge to the Galaxy, because I am a galactic ambassador with the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact. So I do that with them. And so stay tuned, because I just had an interesting conversation yesterday that I'm going to be doing another monthly. So stay tuned for more information on that.
So like many people who are watching the playback, when do you sleep?
Yeah, I don't.
She was up until like, what was it, 1 or 2 in the morning the other night talking to me. I'm like, go to bed.
Even the angels were telling me I needed to go to bed.
They were, yes.
I love people like that. Jamie Wandering Mountain Bardic Path is here. So again, Jamie tomorrow, Jamie and me, snort count,
Awesome.
not for the, well, I don't know. It's how do I not know these two lovelies? I'm so glad I'm here.
Awesome.
Well, you know them
so glad too.
And by the way, Jane, both of them work with archangels. So there may be a time when there's a council of people and we're talking about maybe an archangel or something like that. Maybe.
Yay.
Maybe. So. And so, okay. And okay. Lots of love. Oh, I see Hypnocity here. Brian, blushing their terror here. He's doing the work lurking. We all know how that goes. We get it.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Just will be subscribing. Thank you. And I love it. Okay. Okay. So now, okay, Tanys, I'm going to start with you because Michelle is muted. Could you share some of tell us about your spiritual path? What has brought you to where you are? And we'll just start there.
Okay. So I always joke that Reiki was my gateway drug to all of this. So I had 2 burnouts because I was in management in healthcare. Ended up with 2 burnouts and went, okay, that's enough of that. So during some of the time when I was learning to deal with the stress of all of that, I had my first Reiki session, and I had never felt so good. I was like, oh my goodness, I need to know how to do this. It totally lit the fire. And so I started taking Reiki classes while I was in management and doing that. And so I have fibromyalgia. And so what that did was really empower me in that. And as I've gone along the spiritual journey, I realized that I was a physical empath, which, by the way, there's a high propensity of people diagnosed with fibromyalgia that are actually physical empaths. So just to keep that in mind. And so I realized I was a physical empath. As I went through the Reiki training, I was picking up other stuff. So I've got some Archangelic training and all of that stuff. So I'm a Reiki master. I took Aqualead. So I'm an Aqualead master as well, and some crystal stuff. I'm a crystal master. And then I ended up, I'm a mystery school initiate. So I ended up taking a bunch where that's concerned, which that's where I took my Celtic Shamanic High Priestess training. And so I do shamanic work. That's a mix between Celtic High Priestess and Wiccan, or a Celtic shaman, I should say, and a Wiccan High Priestess. And so that I did that. Just recently, I've taken feng shui. So I have my feng shui certification, working on my sound healing one. I just have the advanced one left to go. So I do all sorts of types of energy healing. Also Nukti, which was downloaded to me actually in 2019. It's a Pleiadian healing modality.
Uh-huh.
And that was quite a journey. And so that's another one that I do that actually heals trauma at a cellular level. So it goes in and reprograms the cytoplasm to release the energy or the vibration of trauma. So
Yeah. I think Ren has summed it up. I'm exhausted just listening.
sorry.
No apologies. You gotta do something with that energy. And so Beth has a question. Can you define or describe being a physical empath? I think I can figure it out, but would love to hear your description. And then,
Okay. Yep.
so Jane's follow-up was, what about other pain warrior people? I was born with a syndrome. So.
Yeah. So physical empath is basically, I'm an empath, which is clairsentience. So it's clairsentience. So you feel all of the stuff around you. When I'm actually doing Reiki, so how I found out that I was a physical empath was I was a level 2 and I had started doing some work on some people. And we had an older gentleman who was full of arthritis. So he was coming weekly for me to see if we could get a handle on his arthritis. And every week I would start doing the Reiki on him and I'd be like, oh, my shoulder's so sore. And I'd be like, I was fine before I started. Like, it's not my fibro kind of thing. And I would realize after I finished that it was gone. And he'd be like, oh, my shoulder feels so much better. And I was like, so this happened in different areas over the course of a few weeks. So I called my Reiki master. I'm like, all right, Susan, what's going on with this? What's the deal? And she's like, oh, you're a physical empath, honey. So basically I feel the aches and pains of everybody. Like an empath feels the emotion. I actually feel like the aches and pains of everybody. And so I was working, when I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, I was actually working as a home support worker. So I was going into people's homes that needed help and everybody was in pain, right? So it wasn't a good job for me in terms of that, right? But I had no idea that that was going on for me because I really didn't start this path until late 30s, I would say. And I was doing that work in my 20s. So,
okay.
Yeah, I hope that answers the question. It's
Right.
It's feeling people's pain.
Well, and you do etheric surgery too.
I do etheric surgery. Yeah, because sometimes we get things caught in our energy field that is the pain translates into the physical. So I go into the etheric because I do multidimensional healing stuff. So I pull stuff out of the field and then I heal up the aura and do that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's the etheric surgery.
Yes. Lisa said, I'm a physical empath. I get so tired and worn out. I hurt all over. And girl, then grounding, cleansing, all of those things are really very important.
Can I give them a little tool for that? Because I'd love to share a tool.
Okay, I'm going to embiggen you then.
Okay. So a great tool would be tubing. So this it was like a miracle worker for me. So I do a lot of networking, of course, because of business stuff. And I would go out to these things and I'd be obviously in pain and exhausted by the end. So I started using this tubing. It's an Archangelic Tubing. And basically we call in the 4 directions, 4 archangels, and we bring a big tube of light down around us. So it's important that we say it out loud. It can be quiet, but at least out loud. So if you guys want to do this with me, I will say it and you can just repeat, okay? And you'll feel the difference. So before we start, I'd love for you to just feel your energy field and just feel what that feels like before we get started, okay? All right. So just noticing the texture and stuff of the energy around you. And now just repeat after me, please. Archangel Michael.
Archangel Michael.
Archangel Gabriel.
Archangel Gabriel.
Archangel Uriel.
Archangel Uriel.
And Archangel Raphael.
Archangel Raphael.
If it's appropriate.
If it's appropriate.
For as long as it's appropriate.
As long as it's appropriate.
Please tube me.
Please tube me.
And just feel as the tube of light comes down around you. And notice the difference in the texture, temperature of the air around you.
That just got windy.
Yeah, because archangelic energy is such a high vibration that it goes past heat into cool. So when they're around me, I freeze.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what this tube of light comes down, and it's almost like a vacuum. So they kind of suck up all that stuff around us that we don't need anymore too. So it's kind of a clearing and protection. Yes, tingly. So if anyone's struggling with it being too much energy, ground. Picture those roots going down through your feet into the earth, wrapping around a big tree root or a rock, and then going all the way down to the crystalline core and wrapping around. All right? Mm-hmm. And deep breath and releasing any excess energy down through that.
Wow. Look at that. Lots
of chills. Awesome.
Yeah. That's great.
So are you guys feeling calmer? Are you feeling clearer? I know we're cold, but some of those others are the other ones as well that you might get, right?
Uh-huh. And Lisa said, I pray each day to my angels for protection. I do ground all the time, meditate, the whole works. Love it. So now you have a new tool to add to your kit.
Yeah.
So, wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow. Dang. It
yes,
sort of reminds me of the lesser banishing ritual, the lesser, so the pentagram, lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram.
Yeah, so. I know that one too.
So,
yeah.
Arlene said, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome, my pleasure.
Total relaxation throughout my body, but especially my shoulders and neck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
So everybody, that was at about 30 minutes in. So if you want to go back and watch it, 28 minutes, you've got that. So, but wow. So you have a lot of modalities that you work with.
Mm-hmm. So I actually, when I book clients in, they book in for a signature session is what I call it. Because really I pull in all sorts of different things. It really depends what they're in for. Mm-hmm. I do ceremonial healings too, which is the Celtic shamanic thing. So we'll do curse removals, cord cuttings, that kind of stuff. I do house clearings and warrior work, crossing people over, that kind of thing as well. So
it's amazing.
Yeah, you teach a lot of classes too.
I do. Yeah, I teach classes in all of those. We have a yearly Celtic Shamanic High Priestess program that starts usually in December on the 21st. Mm-hmm. And we've got 2 years going at a time usually. And so it's it's right now it's a 2-year program. I actually it just started it last year, and the students got to the end of the year and I'm like, okay, so what kind of classes would you like to see, with the academy and stuff? And they're like, no, we want another year of this. I'm like, oh, okay. So we have a 2 to 3 year program that's in development right now. So stay tuned for that.
That's exciting.
And Michelle is going to be teaching with us as well. She is teaching an introduction to Vedic astrology with the Twillow Lifestyle Academy. So we're super excited for that. That's starting soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So yeah, check that out too.
This is a great opportunity. Michelle Marie, just let us know about your path, if you don't mind. And do you want to be large and in charge?
Oh, whatever works. I'm fine this way or the other way. It's fine.
Okay. And I love it. Busy is not adequate.
Yeah, I actually run 3 businesses. I'm actually an HR consultant as well. So I help small businesses with being a small business. So.
Okay. All right, Michelle Marie, go for it.
Okay, the origin story.
Yes.
I like that. I'm going to have to add that to my list. What is your origin story?
That origin story.
Sounds so
Marvel or DC. Yeah. It kind of started, my love of the stars started when I was 9. I went on a Girl Scout trip and we had to get our, I guess, astronomy badge. And we had all of the equipment out. And this is in the big island of Hawaii. And we're looking up at the stars and I'm just completely transfixed. Like it was like something clicked inside of me. And I was with my best friend at the time, and she goes, "Oh, you see that up there?" And I'm looking up like Dan News, and she goes, "Yeah." She goes, "That's my star." She goes, "I'm an Aquarius," and I'm like, "What's that?" And she goes, "Oh, my stone is amethyst." Of course, we're 9, and I'm like, "What's an amethyst?" Like I didn't know any of this stuff.
Sure.
So I went to the library, and where you get a little card, in like a little index card, and yeah. There you go.
Wait. So you wrote stuff down on little index cards?
Of course, yes. And when you used to go to the library, there were these little cards, little card catalogs. And so I went to the A section for astrology, and then, anyway. So
Yes, she is.
I spent
awesome.
a lot of time in libraries as a kid. Plus we moved around all the time. I've moved 34 times and I'm 39. So in my life. So I had a very windy childhood, let's just call it that. And so I was constantly moving from school to school and going to place because my parents were both in the military. And so my way of getting to know kids when I changed school was to try to guess their sign. And that was kind of my icebreaker. And so by the time I hit college, I was a pro at it. But then I found out people started to change, because when you hit that 18 mark and then you hit that 36 mark, that's called your nodal return. People's personalities start changing a little bit because they're starting to find their path and their dharma, or they're supposed to be in life. Mm-hmm. And there's a big shift at 18, 36, every 18 years. 18 and a half or so years. Mm-hmm. And so I got deeper and deeper into astrology until in 2001, I got invited down to a metaphysical clinic to give readings. And the owner of the store said she wanted to see my chart before allowing me to, give readings and be there. And she looked at it and she goes, "Oh, Mars and Cancer, you're perfect." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." She goes, "We get a lot of women here with like emotional trauma and this, that, and the other." And I'm like, "Oh, all right." And so,
love that.
And so I did that for a while. And then I got I went to graduate school, started teaching high school, doing that whole mix. And I was married at the time, and I married into a family that was, how do I say this? Christian, conservative, evangelical Christian from the Midwest. And so they burned all my books. I came home one day and all my books were gone. And I'm like, "What's happening?" Like those were the devil. And I'm thinking, "What? You going into my house and burn my books?" Anyway, we're divorced now. And so, yeah. Yeah. So, I got out of that. Well, and the thing is, Tanys knows this, and you know this, empaths, we tend to attract really toxic personality traits, people, because we have all this light and this love and this empathy for others, and we're very accepting. And, we learn boundaries throughout life because of that. And so that was just a boundary I needed to create. Remarried, he's awesome, really supports my practice. Mm-hmm. Then I went through a really hard time it was about 6 years ago. I had multiple surgeries. Now all 3 are gone, but I had 3 dogs and they were my little loves. We lost our career, all of our income. Our car broke down. I mean, it was just like one thing after another. And I'm like, I've already gone through my Saturn return. He's not square. He's not, what is going on? I'm looking at Pluto. I'm looking at Uranus. I'm looking at all these things going, there's something else going on that I'm not seeing. So I find this channel, and her name was Komilla Sutton. It's Komilla.com. You guys can look her up on YouTube. She's fabulous. And she was talking about Saturn Mahadasha. And I'm like, "What's a Mahadasha?" And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And it's basically planetary timing. When a planet enters your chart, it's kind of getting in the driver's seat and it's taking over for a period of years. And it can be anything from 7 years, which is Ketu's cycle. Actually, the sun is 6.5 years, all the way up until Venus, which is 20 years. Okay, so each of them have a Mahadasha, and I just entered Saturn. I'm like, that's who it is. And so I started watching all of her videos. They were like therapy for me. And then
Uh-huh.
she started offering classes. And so now I'm a graduate of she has a 3-year curriculum that she puts out there. I took 3 years with her. I'm in my 4th year now. And so I'm in the advanced studies. I'm absolutely loving it. And the tarot. I got into the tarot during my divorce because they burned all my astrology books. And I'm like, well, that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's where I'm like,
I know. So I was at the YWCA because this was a bad divorce. And there was a gal there. And anyways, and my husband, he was the one who bought me my first deck. He bought me my first Rider-Waite. And yeah, so long story short, I started doing tarot every single day to kind of like journal and figure out what was going on, because when you're in a high stressful situation like domestic violence and a divorce, you kind of need spirit to help you out. And so I got heavy into tarot, took classes. That was in 2013, so I've been doing it for about 10 years now, every day. And that really helped me through that time. And I find that like you guys, Tanys mentioned that she was in pain, and that's what brought her to her spiritual practice. I was in a lot of pain since a very young age, and I was trying to figure out the world and connect with people and try to find patterns and things like that. And astrology and tarot helped me with that. And so it was good. I like it.
well, and it's obviously a passion for you.
Oh, big time. Yeah, I've got a whole altar. I do all the planetary mantras and remedies. It's a lifestyle. It's not just like a practice. And that's what I tell people. What I love about Vedic astrology is they have remedies for everything. So different breathing practices, sound healing, crystals, a variety of mantras, yantras that you can look at and meditate on. Yoga asanas that you can do that can help the body and free the mind. So things like that. It's a lot of fun.
And Jane said, I went through a major move and surgery in 18. Saturn was hitting me hard. I get
18 was a hard year for a lot of people, Jane, including me. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay.
Oh.
How did the two of you meet? Who wants to handle that one? I'll sit in the middle. Let me get my popcorn.
Do you want me to do that one, Michelle?
Was it Pulver or Grateful Goddesses? Was it on Jeff's channel or was it on?
So I saw
channel?
you first on Pulver.
Okay, it was on Jeff's channel. Okay.
On Jeff's channel.
Okay.
I saw you because you were doing readings.
Oh, was this Ask the Oracles?
Yes.
Okay, that's okay. You saw me on the show. Okay.
Yes. So that's the first place I saw you. And I'm like, wow, she's shiny. And then we met on Grateful Goddesses.
Mm-hmm. That's what I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we ended up staying on after the show with another friend of ours. And we were doing more readings for the people that were on, like the guests and stuff. We just ended up doing that because we're both friends with Karen before that. And so we were staying by to help out with people that were struggling with some things. And while we're on there, the guides are like tapping me on the shoulder saying, you need to do something with them. You need to do something with them. And I'm like, okay. So I just reached out to Michelle and our other friend on Facebook and was like, hi, I'm supposed to reach out to you.
I love that.
Yeah, they do that to me a lot. I've made a lot of friends that way. Just like following direction. I always joke I do what I'm told. So yeah, so we ended up having like a Zoom call because it was at the beginning of COVID, or I guess a year into COVID, something like that.
Yeah, but that 2020, right? I think. Well, 2020. It was like
late 2020.
We didn't do the yeah. We started the show, I think, at the end of 2020.
Yeah. So yeah, so we started the show, and and now she's I'm so thrilled that she's teaching with the Twillow Lifestyle Academy and stuff too, and we've become great friends, which is awesome. Love you.
Love you too.
So yeah, I mean, shiny, happy people, we get it, and it's like going, Yeah, she's shiny. It's like,
Yeah.
ooh. And sometimes it's just oh, I like this person.
Mm.
It's like,
That's what got me into Gerald. I saw you with Amy, and I was like, I like him a lot.
oh,
Yeah.
aw, that's sweet. Amy's going to be back on my channel on May 1st. We're going
Yay.
we're going
Awesome.
to do a Beltane chat and catch up and probably some readings. Oh,
Uh-oh.
well.
Yeah, I got kicked off too once. I don't know what's going on. So,
oh, you found okay. I love that. Wow, she's shiny. So, I don't know why you're being kicked off. Okay, here she. I did not do it on purpose. You know,
What happened? Something went wrong. It just had a thing saying something went wrong with your internet, and I'm like, what?
Well, we were talking about you.
Okay. It's okay. I can watch the recording.
Great. I think that deserves a little fan thwarp. That was a good one. Well, like, you know, it's just like smack me upside the head with my, you know, tiny hand. But yeah, Gerald always gives a bippity boppity boo vibe with a dash of gravitas. Ooh.
Oh yeah,
Perfect.
ambassador of happiness.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
there you go.
So I have a question for you, Gerald, if it's okay.
Absolutely.
What is the origin story of the stash?
Yeah.
The origin story of the stash is, let's see, it was probably in 2017. I had probably watched too many British movies where you have the very distinguished men with handlebar mustaches. And when I first had the mustache, it was actually thinner. I had actually shaved it down. It was the upkeep was, you know, you ladies don't know about this, but for people who have facial hair on top, it's like I was snipping it down, so it was a thin mustache. And I finally at one time I said, no, I'm not doing this. And because it looked weird, it was like it Moose and Squirrel. Who was that?
Rocky and Bullwinkle?
Yeah,
Yes.
Bullwinkle, yeah.
Wasn't there a character who had
Notorious Boris and
Boris.
Natasha. Yeah, but it was Boris.
Yes. Yes. And so I was like going, oh, you know, I don't want to look like Boris. So I shaved it off, and then a lot of people said, oh, I think that looks so much better. And I'm like going, okay, thanks for telling me after I had it for a year. Too many people. I'm like going, great. And then I think this one I started really in about 4 years ago. And I actually did some research on it. You can find information on the interwebs about how to manage and how to grow a handlebar mustache.
Like Pinterest. Yeah.
Pinterest. There's some, you know, there's, I can't remember what is the man art or something like that, but it was like, okay. And so I actually followed some of the instructions, and it's like, you know, it's like when you're growing your hair out, there's always awkward phases. And depending upon how fast your hair grows, it can take some people, it takes a month. Me, it took a good year before I had a mustache that went long, but you basically, you don't do anything with it. You just condition it.
Okay.
So
manscaping is a whole thing. It's
manscaping is a whole thing. Yes. So, but yeah, I think that aeration of your mustache is perfect. Thank you. Me too.
I agree.
Me too. Yeah, challenge accepted. Or the Continental from SNL with Christopher Walken. I love Christopher Walken. That man is just over the top hilarious. He will do anything. I mean, he was in a music video tap dancing. Come on, people.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Did that completely answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
I love it.
I'm like,
Yes, I love it.
Got us hanging out. Okay. And I like it too. And I think there's better products out there than I first started. And it's patience. It's patience.
Do you use the mustache wax at all?
I use the mustache wax. I have some different Clubmen is one of the things that I use. I'm a big fan of Clubmen, but there's handmade mustache waxes that are really good and all of that stuff. It's incredible.
I know nothing about like how to style facial hair, but I had like this image of you taking like a tiny little curling iron in the morning. Like
there is something
because it's very well shaped, you know.
It is.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, more cowbell.
Yeah.
Cowbell?
Yeah. Oh, that's Christopher Walken thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you not know that?
No.
I just
it didn't come to mind.
Tanys.
Okay.
I'm like, couldn't more. Oh, I love it. And
good. I'll have a little giggle later.
Yes, Regina is here. Hello, Regina's Tarot and Wirecraft. Yeah, I use my tiny hands with it. There is called a Mustache Snood, where it's actually something where you put it on and it's silk, and you put it on and it keeps your mustache flat for when you are sleeping.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Go figure. I mean, yeah,
cool.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So, and Regina is kind of work lurking because she she does Wirecraft and she does readings, and she just had a pop-up shop that she was in this weekend. So I'm looking forward to hearing about that because I'm backstage crew with her on Wednesday, I believe, on her channel. And yes, I know I'm busy, but I do sleep.
Awesome.
Even as a newlywed?
Yeah, you have other things to do.
Yes. Sip, everybody. So,
yeah, I've been married 30 years. Past the
you?
newlywed. Mm-hmm.
How
long was it for you, Michelle?
It'll be 8 this year. Yeah.
38 and got married in October. So,
yay!
Awesome.
Yeah. So, we are at 53 minutes, and this is incredible. You were talking, each of you had mentioned, your origin story. What are some of your favorite tools to use as you do your work? And Tanys, I'm going to have you go first.
Okay. Well, one of them is the tubing. I use that with all of my clients because, we always end up with the clients that we're meant to end up with. And so I always end up with the clients that need tubing because they're extra sensitive. So that's definitely one of the tools I use. I also use the Ho'oponopono a lot. So that's another one. I change it a bit. I have a little bit of a different way of doing it where we actually I bring my business hat in and we do like a root cause analysis on why you're triggered. And then we go through the Ho'oponopono on the aspects that need to be gone through, forgiven and released. Crystals, of course. Like you saw me pulling crystals up. Like I have crystals all in front of me here.
I was in the shower this morning and I went, I wonder if I say to each of my guests, what are the 2 tools that are in front of you that you can show on camera? What would they be?
Yeah, my crystals. I have lots of them. This is my dragon head. He's a lot of fun.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a green calcite.
Love that.
That's huge.
So
yeah.
That's one that I'll sit with it here. If I'm having a rough day, I sit with that while I'm watching TV or something. On that note too, the other ones that I have in front of me, I have a crystal wand that I use.
Nice. Is that selenite?
It is. It's selenite with the aura coating.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I can use regular selenite wands. I use that in my practice upstairs more, but this when I'm doing distance, I'll use this one. Yeah, I have a lot of tools sitting here, so I could be here all day. I have an altar, so my altar's here, and I have other wands for my other practices.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, my witchy stuff, and of course my cards. I have all of my card deck on a shelf right here beside me. And what else do I use? Lots of smudge, of course. I use tuning forks a lot these days with my sound healing stuff. And these.
Yep, those are magic. Off the hands.
Those are magic. Those are magic, yeah. What about you, Michelle Marie? What do you've got around you?
Well, a lot of astrology stuff, obviously. And I usually have like a chart open on the side, and I keep up to date with a planner on all of the transits that are coming up and who they're going to affect and how they're going to affect them. So I have a good idea of what's going on there. And then I'll just show you. I have all my tarot decks up here, along with my guru and Ganesha. And that's not all of them. Those are just the ones I'm using right now. And then I have my sound healing kit here. And then my main thing that I do every single day is my altar. And that's right there. And it's got all of the planetary and regular deities on it. And I sit in front of that and do all of my mantras. And then that's my bookshelf with all of my tarot, my yoga mat over there with my husband's. And then those are all my tarot cards and books and tools and stuff like that. So we have a small apartment, so I'm able to like show everything from one angle. But
wow.
But yeah, so tarot, astrology, sound healing, crystals, yoga. It's another really big one for me. Breathing techniques like pranayama. Let's see, even part of some of the remedies involve color therapy, and also what's it called, essential oils, even though we have someone in our network who's like the pro from Dover, like stuff comes out of her mouth that's like, what chemical is that? Like I did not do, I got a C in OChem. So
yeah, we rely on Ruth for that information.
Yeah, and she got an A++ a million in OChem. So yeah, so there's that. And then also diet is another big one. So,
okay.
Yeah, we're all born with a very specific type of body type or dosha, so to speak. And so dietary stuff too is another thing that I work with. It's because Vedic astrology is tied in with Ayurveda. So,
and because with the Vedic astrology, there's always a cure or always something to help balance it.
Yes. It's all about remedies. So like if someone were to come with me with like maybe a Saturn is retrograde in their 6th house and they're having problems with their health, I would basically give them a set of remedies. Like a yoga asana would be the reverse spinal twist in a few various positions. The breathing technique, I would do a couple of rounds of pranayama with them. And, things like that. So, and, there's different mantras that you can do and colors you can wear. And there's gemstone therapy too. That's another really big thing that you can incorporate as well. It's what resonates with people.
Of course. And I think this is one of the wonderful things about the two of you is you have all of these tools in your toolkit and you connect well enough to God, goddess, divine, divinity, whatever, to be directed, to go, okay, this is I have no idea why this is going to work, but this is what I'm being told, I'm being told to suggest to you. So,
yeah. We're both channels. So, we get direct information. I'm a full trance. Michelle and I both do the mediated. So I end up channeling a lot of my client sessions even.
Yeah.
So.
And Lisa asked distance services, if possible, with Zoom.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
That's all of our business now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've cleared houses in England and BC.
She cleared my house. She did an amazing job.
Yeah. So I definitely do healing work and clearing and all of that stuff all over. There
Yeah.
is no time and space, guys. So
Yeah, that's exactly right. I was
just
just
go.
going to say it's, time and space, whatever. Such a limitation. And so let's ignore it and see what happens.
It's
Well, I mean,
awesome.
if you see all of us read together, you can see we're getting similar cards, we're getting similar messages, we're picking up on the
Yeah.
same energies because spirit doesn't have walls. Spirit's
Right.
simply a veil, and we can see through it a little bit better.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. So in the last few minutes, I am curious about what is bringing each of you joy these days. So I'm going to start with Michelle because last time I started with Tanys.
Okay. I'm sorry for the blur. I don't know what happened. I think it was my camera.
Oh,
What brings me joy, to be honest, is this community.
Mhm.
When I got into this because I was in pain, and I met all of these wonderful people that are healing and trying to make themselves better and their lives better and the people around them better. And just to be around that type of a community after the one that I was in previously is such a refreshing place to be. It's just we're all struggling. None of us are perfect, but we're willing to be open and help each other all get to the same goal. And that's what I love. That brings me a lot of joy. So you too, of course, bring me joy.
Aw.
I'm studying astrology gives me a lot of joy because when I'm going through stuff, and you guys know what's going on recently, Saturn just went over my moon. Anyone in the audience is an astrologer, you know what that means. Big karmic dump. And so I was expecting something huge to happen, and I had all my remedies in place and everything was good to go, and it prepared me. So that's what I love about astrology is it's like you can see when stuff is coming and prepare for it. And then what's the third? Well, of course, I know this is kind of silly, but I like the tarot because it does the same thing. It's like I struggle a lot with anxiety. That's why I got into this. I'm very Ayurvedic Vata. If you guys, I'm seeing a lot of people are talking about Ayurveda. I'm a Vata, which means I have too much ether and air. And so I can't drink coffee. I can't do anything that stimulates me because I'm just like I start dropping things, or, it's just like I start to get that, And so the remedies that I do that I recommend to other people, I do too. So like it's kind of like Gandhi and the sugar. A little boy came up to Gandhi, and his mother said, tell him not to eat sugar. And Gandhi says, come back in a week. And the child came back in a week, and he says, don't eat sugar. And she goes, why'd you wait a week? And he said, I stopped eating sugar. So I think part of our practice and our modalities is we need to follow them. We need to make them an everyday part of our life and tweak them and work with them and get to know them so that we can better communicate them with other people.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm the same. I practice my meditation every day. I have ceremonies that I do every day. And so, yeah, like you, Michelle, I think that's important. Certainly what I tell all my students too, make sure you're doing yourself Reiki first before you start doing it on others.
Sure. Sure.
And that's so true, Beth. She says astrology makes sense. It's comforting to have something that makes sense, especially in today's world. We knew COVID was coming, the Western astrologers and the Vedic, and they were like, what's up with this stellium in December? What is this going to cause? And so we were doing all these remedies and talking about it. But yeah, it was good to know ahead of time.
Yeah. And our coven was doing some readings, and we're all like, the December before, it's like, what is that? What is that? And it was, so yeah. And Beth said, I'm Pitta primarily, then Vata.
So Pitta is fire. That's a predominance of fire. That could be inflammation. I'm Vata and then Pitta. So Vata is like dry. They tend to be of slender disposition. It's hard to put on weight, digestive issues, things like that. A lot of anxiety, a lot of like energy just kind of spilling out of you. That's Vata. It's very airy. Pitta is it's extremely fiery. It can lead to if it's out of balance, it leads to like inflammation, hair loss, sweating, things like that, because it's too much fire. So it's what Ayurveda does is it calms the fire, it calms the air, it calms. Kapha would be earth and water, so it calms those elements and tries to balance them within you so that you can be less anxious or less inflamed or less sluggish, depending on what you're struggling with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Regina said Panini. I was getting the Eight of Swords in every single reading, it seemed.
Mm.
Tanys, what brings you joy?
Well, like Michelle, community,
Mm.
and helping people. That's always been a thing for me. That brings me joy. You know, in my own life, just doing my rituals and stuff brings me joy. Right, connecting with nature, all of that stuff. But really, community. I mean, I have just been so blessed. When I started the school, they told me I had 4 people ask me to mentor them, like for me to mentor them. And I was like, okay, guys, what does this mean? I can do that, but what does this mean exactly? And so they told me to start a school. And it was kind of one of those things like Field of Dreams, right? Build it, they will come. I'm like, okay. Twillow Lifestyle Academy, here we go. Next thing I know, I mean, I have 9 teachers now that work with me. And they're all friends. I'm honored to call them all friends. And it's community for me as well, I would say. And I'm so happy. It was a good thing for me, COVID, in many ways, because it really pushed me outside of my comfort zone.
Yes.
And able to meet all these beautiful people, like including you, Gerald. This is all stuff that would be...
It'd be impossible. It's not that it would be impossible. It just wouldn't have happened.
Right. So I'm in many ways very grateful for everything that's happened over the last few years. It's been wonderful.
Beth did say when my is out of balance, I'm kind of a bee.
Yeah. Aggression. Yeah. It's fire.
It's okay. We all get those days.
Yes.
A human thing.
Lisa said, feeling balanced would feel abnormal for me over a decade of worries, etc.
That's very Vata. Yeah.
And Kala Lizzie is here. Chaos can be a ladder.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Us humans, we don't want to change unless there's chaos.
Oh, no.
So we get stuck in ourselves, right? And so chaos just pushes us to be bigger, to be better, to be more of us, right?
Yep.
That's so true. I think, for me, what brings me joy is I have a really good, I like community as well. And I like being with people and experiencing things and reading with people. That energy exchange is so good for me. So very good for me. My husband still brings me joy. We were cooking yesterday. I cooked something and I'm like, I want you to taste this and I want you to adjust the seasoning. And it's nice when somebody, it's really nice when somebody compliments and supplements you. He doesn't complete me because, let's face it, I'm pretty awesome.
You are.
But it's just such a good compliment to it. It just sort of takes it and elevates it. And so everybody is elevated. So
beautiful.
That's wonderful. Okay, so Beth said some people thrive in chaos. What's up with that generally, Michelle and Tanys?
Well, I feel people change when they tire of suffering, and some people have really thick skins, I found. And when people thrive in chaos, it's, how do I say this? Those are usually the people causing it, if that makes any sense. If they're thriving in it, I'm not talking about healers that are in the middle of it trying to help people. I'm talking about people that enjoy it. So I think there's kind of 2 sides to that. Those are those who thrive in it because they caused it and they get some kind of energy feed from it. And then there are people who thrive in it because they look at it as a way to help, in a way to kind of help people through the suffering. And one of my favorite quotes from Swami Sivananda is, we change when we tire of suffering. And so suffering, I think, kind of opens a door for us to make those changes that Tanys mentioned Like, we don't get
Mhm.
people visiting us because they're happy.
Mhm.
I mean, like, oh, my life is perfect. I have all these amazing things going on. And I need a reading because I just want to hear what other awesome things are coming my way. Has never happened. It's
No,
always,
it's
yeah,
usually something else.
it's usually something. It's like, my blank just died, or my blank isn't working out, or I just lost my blank. A lot of loss, a lot of pain, a lot of sorrow. And oh, yes, Callie says some folks are raised in chaos and therefore seek it out later in life. That is,
Yes.
when I
Yes.
was raised in a highly narcissistic environment. Both parents would be. Didn't know what one was until I, hit my 20s. But I attracted a lot of narcissists until I figured out what one was, and I went to therapy, and I was like, "What?" And she's like, "You're an empath." I'm like, "What's an empath?" It's like the whole, like, what's that star? What's an amethyst? When I was 9, I was
Yeah.
always asking questions. So I was able to kind of break that through that mold and be like, why am I attracting these people? Oh, wait, I don't have any boundaries. And because I was raised by them. And so
Mhm.
just to kind of like push through that, those habit trails, I like to call them, and start to change the way I vibrate, I start attracting amazing people like you. So, but it took well halfway into my 30s to start attracting good people, including my husband, who I consider to be part of our community. So
Yeah, for sure he is. Yeah.
yeah, as a yoga teacher and everything else. So
And
yeah.
and I think that we build resilience. So,
Mhm.
like what Kala said, we build resilience when it comes to things too,
Mhm.
depending on what we go through. So we can become, if it's too much, we get change stressed, and then it just triggers us. But if we have a little bit of chaos, a little bit of chaos, a little bit of chaos, and there's time in between, right? It's kind of like you push out and go outside of your comfort zone and come back. So you build resilience within yourself
Mhm.
to be able to handle those situations. But in our times, it's been really difficult for us. Like in this time period, what do we call this? Kali Yuga,
Kali Yuga.
the
Kali
Kali
Yuga.
Yuga, right? It's
This
really
is the
hard
time.
during this time.
It's very material. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so we haven't really had that time to kind of come back. And so that's why a lot of people are feeling the stress, because they haven't had that bounce back time between the chaotic periods.
Yeah.
So we can develop it, but it does take time and work, right? We have to do our own
Yeah.
healing work along the way.
Wow. I cannot thank you two enough. You have been so gracious with your time. I really, really appreciate it. Everybody watching this, please like and subscribe because it's free. And you don't want to miss all, yeah, it's free. You don't want to miss all of the stuff that these amazing people are doing, and reaching out and helping so many people, and sometimes actually offering that different perspective that is enough to put the wrench into the works and make us go, wait a minute, I hadn't thought of that. And that's a good thing. And so, but any last minute words before I say thank you very much. So, oh, there we go. Sub to both. Yes.
Awesome. Thank
Yay. Thank you,
you.
Christine. So nice to connect.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Well, we have
absolutely.
classes coming up. I've got a
We
workshop,
do.
a Vedic astrology workshop. It's 12 classes, hour and a half long each. And I believe it starts the 13th. So it's every Saturday at 3 p.m. my time. So that would be 6 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, I
Right.
had it in at 7. Are we doing 6?
We could do 7. Okay. Yeah. 4
Yeah,
p.m.
we have
my
it in at
time and then
7.
7 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Because I know we were back and
We went
forth
back
on
and
that.
forth.
All right. That's good that you told me because I have to go in and change that on my social media. Okay. So yes, it's fine. So it
What day is
starts
that?
the 13th of May.
It's a
Okay.
Saturday.
Yeah. And
Saturday
it's
evening.
12 classes. And you can sign up at Twillow
Lifestyle.ca.
Lifestyle.ca, or you could go to astrologicaltarot.com and just click classes. So
Do it. Just go and find out.
It's going to be an amazing class. Absolutely
Yeah.
amazing.
yeah, I put a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
into it. So
And we
And then
have
we
2 other
have-
programs in the works. We have one that is a retreat, and it's going to be happening. It's local, so it's in Quebec here in Canada. It's a 1-day retreat. So that one's the I Am retreat. And then we're also working on a program, a Know Thyself program, which is with Jennifer Tchaikovsky, Jacqueline Richards, and myself. And it's all about there's all sorts of things we're bringing into this. The Mayan Oracle, we're bringing in human design, yoga, and all sorts of like introspective stuff, all tools for introspective, some energy medicine and stuff. So we're all bringing our little bits and pieces into this to really take you through, and it's a 9-week course. So that's coming up soon. So keep an eye on that.
That's amazing. So
as well as a warrior course. Jen and I are working on a warrior course as well. So that's in the
WA. Yeah.
Okay.
Warrior.
Warrior. Like, what
Not
the-
warrior. Warrior. Yeah.
Warrior. Yeah.
Like,
Warrior.
clearing things.
Okay.
That kind of
You know, powerful.
Mhm. Yeah.
So.
And we also have the membership site.
Mhm.
And all of the teachers put in their own bits into our membership site. So we have a community. You can sign up for that at twillowlifestyle.ca. There's a free version too. That one's free, where you get little bits and pieces and you get a little sneak peek. And then there's, of course, more. And it's kind of like the idea of Patreon, monthly fee or a yearly fee. And you get readings and Vedic astrology transits and new recipes and ebooks and all sorts of resources and stuff in there. So
All of the cool stuff.
And it's $11 Canadian, which is like $8
month,
US,
yeah.
something like
month,
that.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Go look and investigate. You know what I'm going to say. Know your limits, purchase responsibly.
yes.
It's free to like and subscribe. It's also free to go investigate
Yes.
and ask questions. So, all right. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
We're going to say goodbye. And everybody, don't forget, I'm a guest on Twillow Lifestyle Academy tonight.
Twillow Talk. Come and see us on Twillow
Talk.
Twillow Talk. And those of you that just subscribed to the YouTube, it'll come up on your feed.
Yes.
Because we do it there.
Because we're like that. So
We're like that. We
thank
do
you.
stuff.
Bye.